The sun was setting over the desolate wasteland, casting a red-orange glow over the abandoned buildings and rusted cars. It had been 3 months since the zombie apocalypse had started, and I was still alive. My name is Maya, and I am a siren. I use my powers to protect myself and my group of survivors from the infected creatures that roam the land. It all started with the crystals. They started growing from the ground, harmless at first. But as they continued to spread, they started infecting anything they came into contact with. People, animals, even plants. And those infected became mindless zombies, controlled by the crystals. We had no idea where they came from or how to stop them. My group and I were on the move, constantly. We had to keep moving to avoid being overrun by the infected. We traveled in our trusty borderland vehicles, scavenging for supplies and weapons along the way. We also used the catch-and-ride station to print new vehicles, as our old ones would often get destroyed in our attempts to escape the infected. We had just arrived at a new location, a small town that seemed untouched by the infection. We parked our vehicles in the town square and cautiously made our way into the nearest building. It was an old general store, and it seemed to have everything we needed. We spent a couple of hours stocking up on food, water, and ammunition before heading back to our vehicles. As we were about to leave, we heard a loud screeching noise coming from the outskirts of the town. We quickly jumped into our vehicles and drove towards the sound, our guns at the ready. We soon discovered the source of the noise, a giant crystal, pulsating and oozing with infected goo. And surrounding it were dozens of zombies, mindlessly attacking anything in their path. I immediately activated my siren powers, creating a force field around our vehicles to protect us from the zombies. My teammates, Axton and Salvador, started shooting at the zombies, taking them down one by one. I used my powers to throw the infected creatures away from us, giving us a chance to drive away. We raced back to the catch-and-ride station, where we quickly printed new vehicles, and jumped off the nearest cliff to kill ourselves. It may seem extreme, but it was the only way to use the new station without getting infected. We respawned at the station, uninfected and ready to continue our journey. We drove for hours, until we reached a safe location to rest for the night. We set up camp, and I used my powers to create a barrier around us, keeping the infected creatures at bay. We took turns keeping watch throughout the night, making sure we were safe. The next morning, we continued our journey. We came across a bandit camp, filled with guns and supplies. We cautiously made our way inside, taking out any bandits that tried to attack us. We managed to find some new guns with extra gimmicks, which would definitely come in handy in our fight against the infected. As we were leaving the camp, we heard a loud roar coming from the distance. We quickly got into our vehicles and drove towards the sound. We soon came face to face with a giant, mutated zombie. It was covered in crystals, and its eyes glowed with an eerie purple light. We knew we couldn't take it down with our guns, so I used my powers to lift it into the air. Axton and Salvador quickly threw grenades at it, causing it to explode into a million pieces. We all let out a sigh of relief, knowing that we had just taken down one of the most dangerous creatures in the wasteland. We continued our journey, facing challenges and obstacles along the way. But we never gave up, always pushing forward and fighting against the infected. We were survivors, and we would do whatever it takes to stay alive in this new, dangerous world. As the sun set once again, we found ourselves at the edge of a cliff. We looked out at the vast landscape in front of us, knowing that tomorrow would bring new challenges and dangers. But for now, we were safe. And that's all that mattered in this Borderland universe. Yay, the end. Oh right, yeah, I have to do this stuff now. Like, comment and subscribe. And please watch my other videos and comment ideas on stories.